Hey, hello everyone, and welcome into Surf Performance Yoga. If you are a surfer or a yogi, then you are in the right place. This is a 60-minute class, and today we're going to be focusing on compression and extension. So this is super important for surfers. You're compressing your body all the time, especially when you're paddling. You're doing things like pop-ups, duck dives, and you're also extending when you're paddling, doing these things as well. And it's good to get a nice counter, have the compression and the extension so that you get a full workout of the spine. So before we begin with moving, just go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Go ahead and sit down. Just relax the body. Take a couple of moments to feel inside, to connect with the breath. Wanted to quickly mention here that I do have a music playlist. It was in the email that was sent out. So if you want to bring that up, you can bring that up now or use your own music. We can press play on that once we start moving. But for now, just seated, come to some stillness, find some softness in the body. And again, connect with the breath here. So as we're connecting with the body, just feel inside, start to find an evenness in your breath. So same length inhale, same length exhale. See if you can just maybe count in your mind or just find something that feels even to you. We want to keep this evenness of breath throughout the entire class. So we'll just begin with that now. And if you want to join me for one Om, join me for one Om. Otherwise, just stay seated. If you're joining me, bring hands to prayer to chest. Just one Om here. Inhale. Om. Right, go ahead and hit play on that music if you're using it. If not, come to your mat. We will start standing today. So feet at the front of the mat, toes together, heels slightly apart. And we're going to be doing a lot of dynamic movement today just because surfing requires a lot of pop-ups, a lot of duck diving. That's a lot of compression and then extension, like right afterwards. So having a lot of dynamic movement here is going to be very helpful. So again, starting at the top of the mat, we're just going to inhale, reach the hands up, look up and touch. And then exhale, fold forward, stay here. Now, as we're folding forward, separate the feet about hips distance apart here. Keep the fingertips on the ground or on the shins or wherever you can find, either on the shins, the feet, or in front of you. And on an inhale, arch the back, look up. And on an exhale, fold forward. Same thing again. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, fold forward. So we'll go like this for a couple of minutes here. Well, not minutes, but a couple of seconds here. Just arching the back slowly and then rounding the back. Really get into that extension and then that compression as we're beginning the class here. And on your next exhale, stay low, stay down. You can just let the hands hang. You can clasp
Hands to elbows and just fold over, hang here. Give yourself a nice forward fold. I find that forward folds are generally one of the best things to do after a surf session, just because you're arching your back so much when you're paddling that a good counter for that is going to be our forward fold. So we got plenty of those in this class. And then on your next inhale, come up. You can just roll the spine up, reach up and touch above your head. And then exhale, fold forward. We're going to do similar extension and compression, folding forward and coming up. Although this time on the inhale, we're coming all the way up with the hands looking up to touch. And then on your exhale, folding forward all the way down. Inhale, reach the torso, reach the hands up, look up and touch. And exhale, fold forward. So keep going like that for another 10, 15 seconds here. Just getting the compression and the extension started. Focus on finding an evenness in your movement and an evenness in the breath here. And on your next exhale, stay folded forward. This time you can bring your first two fingers to your big toe. On an inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward. So you're wrapping your first two fingers around your big toe and you're kind of stepping on them a little bit as you fold forward. In this one, I like to think that I'm pulling my toes out in front of me in order to get a deeper forward fold, a deeper back stretch. So just breathe into it, find that evenness in breath. And on your next inhale, roll the spine up, hands come up. This time, interlace the fingers, reach up, and lift the heels up on your inhale. On your exhale, fold forward. So same thing as before, we're folding forward. This time when we're standing up, we're interlacing the fingers in front, reaching up through the heels and the calves, and then exhaling, fold forward. On your inhales, if you can get a little bit of a back arch at the very top, that's really good. And if you can't, use the heels and lift them, just keep the heels on the ground. That's totally fine as well. And on your next exhale, stay down. This time, step onto the palms with the feet. So fingers underneath the feet, toes come into the wrist crease here. You're stepping on top of the hands. On an inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Just getting a lot of these forward folds out of the way in the beginning of class as we're warming up. We'll get into some side, we'll get into a little bit of twist as well, just to make sure that we get all the directions of the spine. But this class is really focused on compression and extension, just that forward and backward movement. And last of these, on your inhale, come up, hands to hips, and still inhaling, take a slight arch in the spine, and then exhale this time, left hand down the right leg. We're twisting as we fold forward. Inhale up with the hands on the hips, arch the back a little bit. Exhale, twisting to the other side. So right hand down the left leg, left arm up. And inhale, come up, hips forward, slight arch. And exhale over to the right, left hand down the right leg, right arm up. Keep going like this for another couple of rounds. Just smoothly working yourself into these. Still at the beginning of class here, so remember to honor your body if you're not feeling a particular pose or a particular variation. Don't worry about that. Just do something that was done earlier in the class, perhaps. And on your next exhale with the first side, so left hand down, right arm up, stay there for a couple of breaths. Just a nice little rotation here. Make sure we're getting more directions of the spine than just forward and backwards. And on your next inhale, you can either stay down and go over to the other side, or you can inhale, come up, go through with the hands on the hips and give yourself an arch and go down to the other side, hold for a couple of breaths. And on your next inhale, roll the spine, come up to standing, feet, hips distance apart. We'll do a little bit in the lateral side of the body as well here. So inhale, hands reach up, grab the left hand with the right wrist, and then lean over to the right. So right hand is grabbing the left wrist, leaning over to the right. Feet are hips distance apart. Hips stay square here. So don't lean into the hips, just the upper chest. Get a better angle for that. And on an inhale, come up to center. Left hand grabs right wrist over to the other side. Couple of nice even breaths here. Again, we're working on keeping an even breath, same length inhale, same length exhale throughout this entire class. So something to focus on when you're in these static poses. Inhale, reach the hands up. Left hand grabs the left wrist. This time you can include the hips or not. It's totally up to you. If you are including the hips out to the left as you lean to the right, just make sure that you're really strong in both legs. So don't just let the right leg go here and lean fully into the left. Make sure that the right leg stays strong, left leg stays strong as you lean over to the right and the hips extend out to the left. And I've heard teachers say that extending the hips out to the left is good, bad. I just think that it's a variation of the same type of pose. So I think you're really good either way here. And on an inhale, come up, go over to the other side. Left hand grabs right wrist over to the left and include the hips this time if you'd like. Remember to stay strong through your feet. Don't collapse into your left leg here. All right, and inhale, come up to standing. We'll go through a couple of sun salutations here just to warm up the body a little bit more. Sun salutations are also great for extension and compression. You're doing it several times each time we do it. So working through it here, we'll do 3 and then we'll do a couple of 3-legged dogs at the end. On your next inhale, reach the hands, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arch the back, look up, and exhale straight to downward facing dog or through chaturanga, upward dog to downward dog, however you want to go through your chaturangas if you'd like to, or if you'd like to go straight to downward dog, whatever fits with you today. Honor your body today, so whatever you feel like, go with that. On your next exhale, jump, step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms, look up and touch. Exhale, hands down. One more of these. Inhale, hands reach up, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump, step, walk to the front of the mat. On your inhale, look up, arch the back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the hands up, look up and touch. Exhale, hands down. So meet me in downward dog at your own pace or follow me here. Inhale, hands up, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. And when you get to downward facing dog, three-legged dog here, just lift the right leg up and straight back. So downward dog on your left leg, right leg is reaching up and back. Hips are squaring towards the ground here. And exhale, that foot comes down. Inhale, left leg comes up. Same thing, other side. You want to feel like you're kicking the back wall away here as you are really getting a nice stretch through the back leg on your right leg. So strengthening the left leg, getting a nice stretch on strengthening the left leg, getting a nice stretch on the right leg here. And exhale, foot comes down. For these ones, I like to move the other foot, the foot that's on the ground, maybe a little bit towards center. But three-legged dog, opening out to the side this time. So on an inhale, pick that right leg up and open the whole torso out to the side as the right edge of your right foot reaches up and back. And if you can't get into any of these variations, totally fine. Just do one of the earlier variations. And remember to breathe into this. This is when the evenness of breath starts to become a little bit harder. So exhale, come down. On your next inhale, we'll do the other side. So left leg reaches up and out to the side. Open the chest over to the left. Three-legged dog. And exhale, foot comes to the ground. Next, inhale, right leg up and out to the side again. This time we're bending the top knee and dropping the right foot towards the ground behind you. So bent knee is reaching up and out while the right foot is kind of just dangling there. One of the cues I like is imagine someone has tied a bag of sand to your big toe and it's just dropping down to the ground behind you. That's the type of feeling, but your right knee is also still extending up and away. So you're getting a nice stretch in the psoas here. Also really warming up the back for the things that are coming a little bit later. Next, exhale, foot comes down. Next, inhale, left side, up and out to the side. Chest opens to the left, and then bend the knee. Left knee reaches up and out. Left foot reaches towards the ground. And exhale, come down, back to downward facing dog. This time we're going to pick up the right foot, open it out to the right, bend the knee, and then drop the foot back behind you into wild things. So you should be on four limbs here. Your right arm should be facing forward. Left hand is down. We'll show it one more time if you missed it on the video. Right foot comes up, opens out, bend the knee, and then drop that right foot back. Extend the left leg straight, right knee remains bent. So your right knee is the only limb here that's bent. Everything else is extending out. And on your next exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Other side, left foot reaches up, out to the side, bend the knee, drop the foot, and then extend all the limbs here. Push in through your right hand, pushing through your right foot, pushing through your left foot, extend everything out. And on your next exhale, come back to downward facing dog. We can come to tabletop, so just drop the knees down and then come to lying on your belly. Do a couple of spine extensions, but just take a nice breath here, just relaxing after some of that hard work in the three-legged dogs. And then when you're ready, come up to Sphinx. We'll start here and kind of progress through a couple of different variations of Cobra and Low Cobra. So just stay where your body is being honored today. If you want to do Sphinx, let's start here. Arms are parallel to the sides of the mat. Hands are flat facing down. You're pushing down through the forearms as the shoulders move down the back and your hips press into the ground. Hips should definitely press into the ground here. You'll feel a nice contraction in the glutes, in the lower back, and that should be helping protect the lower back from too much dumping in this pose. So press those hips into the ground, and you'll realize that this pose feels a lot like when you're paddling. When you're surfing and you're paddling, you're kind of contracting these muscles, not fully, but kind of in this type of intensity. So it's really nice to kind of check in with this here. Now, if you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to go further, just press into the hands and lift the chest higher. So hands stay where they were. Now the arms are straight. The shoulders are still going down the back. The hips are still pressing into the ground. Chin comes down a little bit here. You don't really want to be looking up in this posture. Kind of want to be looking forward and down. And then you can stay here or you can come down. We'll do a full cobra. If you want to do the full cobra, hands come underneath the shoulders. And on your next inhale, we're arching the back. Again, hips pushing into the ground, shoulders are coming down the back as the crown of the head extends forward. So do whichever one you feel is working for your body here today. And we'll be here for another couple of seconds. Remember, you're really focusing here on the shoulders going down the back and the glutes being engaged by pressing the hips down. Really find that type of paddling feeling in the lower body. These types of extensions really create space in the spine. They're also very stable. Like when you're paddling, you're very unstable. The water is moving, your arms are moving. But when you find stability in these types of extensions, you can really work on a full back bend, a full extension, and finding a really healthy way to do these extensions. So on your next exhale, calm down. And we'll do any form of locus that feels right for you today. So beginner forearms would be like just feet are up, the chest can stay down. If you want to lift the chest up, feet stay down. Or if you want to lift the whole body, you can do feet and chest and hands. So on your next inhale, come up into one of those three, either feet up with the chest down, chest up with the feet down, or everything facing up for a couple of breaths. You're extending through the crown all the way through the feet here. Extend out in this back extension. And exhale, come down, lay down. If you want to just lay down and move your head to one of the sides, you can do that. Or you can come back into a nice child's pose, whichever little rest you want to take here. If your head's down to one side, I'll let you know when to switch it. And switch your head to the other side. And everyone will meet in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands raise, look up and touch. Hands to the side on your exhale. We'll do a couple of sun salutation Bs. So we'll do warrior one, warrior two, and then warrior three. If you'd like to go on your own pace, go for that now. Otherwise, follow me here. On an inhale, sink the hips, sit into your chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to go through chaturanga, you can go through chaturanga or just meet in downward facing dog. And on your next exhale, right foot comes forward, back foot lands down flat, and on an inhale, reach the hands up. On an exhale, sink into the front leg. Inhale, reach up, arch the back a little bit more. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Again, if you'd like to choose chaturangas here, you can choose that. And when you get back to downward facing dog, left foot comes forward, right foot comes down, warrior one, other side, hands reach up on the inhale, and exhale, sink into that front leg. Inhale, see if you can arch the back just a little bit more. And exhale, fold forward, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up, look up and touch. Exhale, hands down to the side. Warrior two this time. Inhale, sink the hips, sit into chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. And at the end of your next exhale, right foot comes forward, left foot gets planted down flat. And I like to windmill the arms on the inhale. So on your next inhale, just reach the arms up. We'll go into warrior two here for a breath. And on your exhale, sink into that front leg. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground, back to downward facing dog. And when you get there, left foot comes forward, right foot comes down. We'll come up into warrior two. Sink into the front leg on an exhale. Inhale here. Hands to the ground, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump, step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, sit into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, stand, look at the hands, hands to the side. One more, warrior three this time. On an inhale, sink the hips, sit into chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale back to downward facing dog. At the end of your next exhale, right foot comes forward, hands stay down to begin with. As we lift the back leg up, you can keep the hands down here if that's easiest. If you want more of a challenge here, you can bring the hands to chest in prayer or out to the side like an airplane. You can do hands in front as well if you really want to get into the shoulders. Whatever variation, just honor your body here today. And on your next exhale, hands come down, back to downward facing dog. And at the end of your next exhale, left foot comes forward, right foot comes up, hands stay on the ground or to prayer, to plane, or out in front. I would do whatever you did on the first side, just do that one again. And exhale, hands come to the ground, back into downward facing dog. So just stay in downward facing dog here. If this is nice and restful for you, you can stay here or you can take a child's pose. Just taking a quick break here before we get into some of the more peak poses designed for this class. And when you're ready, come up to hands and knees. This is crow pose. This is a huge compression pose to really help with the stability and the strength when you're compressing your body, doing things like duck dives, pumping down the line, getting into turns. Super important to build strength like that. So we can do crow prep, which is much lower. You can keep your hands on the ground. The feet don't have to come up as you lean forward into your hands. This is like a nice groin stretch. Another pigeon prep is making a shelf, but putting your elbows kind of like right underneath your knees, and then just leaning forward and seeing if you can pick the feet up in this really low kind of squat crow position here. Or if you want full crow pose, you can do that as well. Hands stay straight, knees come up into the armpits. You lift the legs on an exhale and lean forward, compressing the body, everything in towards the center. Just squeeze everything as you push the hands into the ground and try to strengthen your arms. So whichever crow pose, prep pose that you want to do, go ahead and do that now. Again, compression creates power. So when we work on poses like this, it's really helping us strengthen our pop-ups, strengthen our paddling, getting low, absorbing bumps, pumping down the line, things like that. And when you're ready, come out, find your way back to downward facing dog. If you need a break in child's pose, you can go to child's pose. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward dog for a couple of breaths here. And on your next exhale, just bring that right foot forward, drop the back foot down. We're going to be in pyramid pose here, just folding over that front leg. So the left foot is flat on the ground, the right foot faces forward. Left foot is kind of angled towards the front of the mat a little bit. And if you want to come up first, you can come up first. But we're just going to fold over that front leg. Really nice hamstring stretch on the right hand side. Hands can be at your thigh. They can be at your shin. They can be at your foot. They can be clasped behind the back. Whatever feels good for you here today, whatever variation. And on an inhale, come up. We're just going to switch the feet over. And go down on the other side, left leg forward, right foot back. And on an inhale, come up, switch the feet. We'll do the little bit of dynamic work like this. So same two poses that we've been doing, but every inhale and exhale is a different movement towards that pose. So for example, on an exhale, we're folding over the right foot. Inhale, we're coming up, we're switching our stance over to the other side, and then exhaling, folding over that left leg. So this should be in rhythm with your inhales and your exhales. Again, try to keep the same length for both of those things, but we're switching sides on every inhale and on every exhale. And the next time you're up, stay up. Shift the feet a little bit more towards triangle. We're going to do this in triangle next. So in triangle, you're a little bit more heel to heel and your back foot isn't really as angled as in the other pose, but it is angled a little bit. So figure out your little triangle legs here. Hands out to the side on an inhale. On an exhale, cut the hips back away from the chest as the chest extends out over the right leg and the right hand comes down the right leg. So right hand can be on thigh, it can be on shin, it can be on foot, it can be on ground, whatever is your flexibility today. Couple of breaths here in triangle. And on an inhale, come up. We'll switch over to the other side. So same type of dynamic movements we were doing before, this time with triangle. So left leg forward, right leg back. On an inhale, hands out wide. Exhale, cut the hips back as you extend the chest out over the left leg. Right arm comes up. Just getting into the sides a little bit here. We'll do twisted triangle next just to get a little bit of rotation involved as well. Again, today we haven't done all the directions of the spine so much because we've been focusing on forward and backwards compression and extension. So we want to get a little bit of these side bends in, these twists in as well. So on an inhale, come up, switch the feet. We'll do this dynamically now. So every inhale, exhale is a different movement like we were doing before. On your exhale, right arm out, reaches over the leg. On your next inhale, come up, switch the feet over to the other side. On your exhale, left hand comes down, left leg, right arm up, and continue like that. Inhale, stand up, switch over to the other side, exhale over the right leg. Next inhale, stand up, and so on. A little bit of dynamic movement here. Maybe see if you can go a little bit deeper on each of your exhales for these ones. And on your next exhale, come up. This time we'll do twisted triangle. So the stance is a little bit more like pyramid, the first one that we did. Not exactly heel to heel. I like to be a little bit more wide. And then the back foot is angled a little bit more towards the front of the mat. On an inhale, hands are out to the side. Exhale, left arm comes down, right leg, twisting to the right. Twisted triangle, left hand to right leg. Left hand can be anywhere. It can be on the thigh, it can be on the shin, the foot, the ground. Each inhale, fill the body with air. Exhale, see if you can twist just a little bit deeper. And on your next inhale, come up to standing, switch the feet. And on your next exhale, right hand comes to left leg and down towards the ground as you twist out and open to the left. And on an inhale, come up. We'll do the dynamic form of this for a couple of breaths as well. So just shifting from side to side on every breath. So if you're following me, inhale, exhale, left hand comes down, right leg. Inhale, come to standing, switch the feet. And exhale, right hand goes down, left leg twisting out to the left. Keep going like this. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist. And on your next inhale, just come up to standing, come to the front of the mat, feet together. And just to get down to sitting here, we'll do one sun salutation. So hands up on an inhale, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, fold back to downward facing dog. If you want to go through chaturanga, go through chaturanga or meet me here. When you get here, jump through your hands or just step through the hands or just come to seated on your mat. We're going to do some Navasana boat pose. So on your next inhale, not full Navasana yet, just reach the feet a little bit off the ground, hands come forward. You are finding a lot of lift in the lower back, and you're finding more of an arch in the lumbar and the thoracic spine here as you push your chest forward. Feet are just hovering over the ground, knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. And just come back to this if you don't like any of the other variations. We will move on to a couple more challenging boat poses here. So if you need to take breaks, take breaks. Feet can come down or you can grab the knees. But while you're up, do try to work at 100%. On your next inhale, extend the feet out, not fully extended yet, just a slight bend in the knees here. This is probably the hardest form of Navasana, I think. So take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Take breaks when you need. Just one round of boat pose here. So it'll be over soon. Couple more breaths. Next inhale, feet extend full Navasana. Remember to engage the chest, lift the chest forward, lift the lower back up and in. And exhale, come down, Ardha Navasana. So only thing touching should be maybe your lower back and your bum as your feet are up, your hands are straight, and your chest is looking toward your feet. And exhale, come up to seated. Meet me back in downward facing dog. If you'd like to do a nice little up dog, I like to do up dogs after I do boat poses, just to get a nice stretch in the psoas and the front body. And when you're done with that, meet me back in downward facing dog. We'll do a sun salutation here to get to our next pose. So inhale, exhale, jump, step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up, arch the back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the hands up, look up and touch. Exhale, hands to the side. Getting back towards the ground. Inhale, look up, reach up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. When you get there, jump or walk or just sit, come through to seated and bring your torso down so you are lying on your back. We're doing either bridge or wheel here. If you know those already, go for it. Otherwise, follow me. We'll do one bridge and then either one or two wheels, depending on how you're feeling today. But 3 back bends here total. So when you're starting in bridge, your feet should be about parallel to the sides of the mat. Your hands should about touch your heels. That's about how far away your feet should be from your bum. You should be able to touch your heels just barely with your hands here. My hands are a little bit longer, so maybe even farther in for people with shorter arms. But for bridge, we're just gonna lift the hips up, straight up towards the sky. We're gonna clasp the hands underneath the back and roll onto the shoulders as we continue to push through the hamstrings and push through the glutes and push that hips and your chest up. Your knees should not be splaying out to the sides here. They should have an inward direction as you push up through the heels. And if you'd like to take a wheel pose, same type of dynamic, except a little bit more intense. Hands come to your side of your head, kind of near your ears. And on an exhale, I like to come to the crown of my head again. Make sure that your feet are nice and parallel to the sides of the mat and your knees aren't going to splay out. Keep your knees in a nice straight line with the sides of your mat here. Hands come to sides of the head. On an exhale, lift the hips and come to the crown of the head. Hold it here. Make sure that your base is nice and stable, that you're pushing through your hands and your feet evenly. And then on an inhale, press through everything at the same time, all hands, all feet, as you come up. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. And then once you're up there, taking a couple of breaths, try to move your chest towards the front of your mat. Move your chest forward as well, giving you a nice arch in the upper spine. And if you want to stay in bridge, you can absolutely stay in bridge, or you can join us in wheel. If you're doing wheel, you can come down now. If you want another bridge, go for another bridge, or we'll do one more wheel. So the idea between going from something like a compression, like a boat pose, to a extension, like a wheel pose, is like your body doing these things, like popping up a lot of compression to a lot of extension, like immediately. And then also like duck diving. If you think about it, when you duck dive, you're doing a lot of compression, and then you're doing a lot of extension immediately. So come down when you're finished with that wheel pose or that next bridge. And just take a second here to think about being comfortable with these extensions and compressions and how often you're going to be doing these when you go surfing and why this work is important. We're really giving a lot of strength in our compressions, and we're really giving a lot of space in our extensions to make sure we have full range of motion when we're surfing. So you're laying down, go ahead and come up to seated. We'll just do some seated forward folds if you want to do Tanasana, that's both feet out at the same time, or Janu Shirshasana, which is what the one I'm going to recommend. Bring one foot in, either the left or the right foot, as close into your groin as possible. See if you can get it all the way up, almost into your sacrum there. And then on an inhale, arch the back, keep it nice and straight as you exhale over the right leg. So left foot is into the groin, right leg is out straight as you fold over. See if you can hold on to any part of the body, not necessarily just putting your hands down on the ground. If you can get your hands to your knee or your shin or your foot or your toes, you can go a lot deeper in these poses when there's a nice loop of connection between your hands, your feet, or just your body in general. So try to find some part of your body to hold on to. On your inhale, straighten the back out a little bit as you arch, and then exhale, fold farther over that right leg. And on an inhale, come up, switch sides, right leg comes up into the left groin. On an inhale, straight back. Exhale, fold over the left leg, taking any part of the left leg that is available to you and making that connection there. Every inhale, see if you can come up and straighten the back a little bit more. And then every exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. See if you can find that evenness in breath. Again, we're starting to really slow down the class now. So if you want to start letting that go, you can. If you've found a lot of evenness in breath and you're liking where that's taking you here today, then stick with it for the next few cool down poses that we have here. On an inhale, come up, we'll take butterfly, Bakasana. So feet, heels come together in front of you. I like to grab the feet and kind of open them like a book. On an inhale, straighten that back. And on an exhale, fold forward. So wherever your feet can get to, you're trying to bring them as far in towards your pelvis as you can. But if they don't go that far, then having them farther out away from your chest and away from your torso is perfectly fine. Just find a nice stretch in the groins here and the hips. Yeah, so compression and extensions are really everywhere in surfing. Think about pumping down the line. It's all about compression, stability in your torso, finding that balance in your torso to get the power to go down the wave. And then we'll just kind of roll onto our backs here. This is something that I like to do. I kind of grab my feet, stay in Baddha Konasana, butterfly, as you just kind of roll onto your back. And you can stay in butterfly on your back. I find that this goes a little bit deeper. It's nice. It gets to a nice spot in the hips. Or you can open the feet out into happy baby. Happy baby, your feet are roughly at about a 90-degree angle. The feet are and the knees are moving down towards the ground here. You're using your hands on the outsides of your feet to kind of pull your knees towards the ground. Really important here, if you can do this, your lower back should be on your mat. So if you can't quite do it or you're not there yet, try to see if you can get your lower back to be flat on the mat as you're in happy baby, of course. And we'll do a quick twist here. So bring the knees in, hug the knees into the chest, maybe give yourself a nice little rock side to side or forward and back. And then let the knees drop over to the right as the chest opens out to the left. If you want to wrap your left knee around your right knee before dropping them over to the left, or really any type of supine laid back twist that you want to do is totally appropriate now. Just anything knees over to the right, chest out to the left. Giving that spine a nice release from all that work that we were doing, compressing it and extending it. On an inhale, knees up and over to the left as the right chest opens out to the right. And you can stay in that a moment longer before we come to Shavasana. So when you're ready, go ahead and bring the knees back to center, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice inhale, and on an exhale, let everything go, let the breath go, let the body go. Hands and arms out, lying on the back in Shavasana. Just feel into the body here. Feel into the torso. See what kind of work you can feel that we've done on the front of the body in our extensions, on the back of the body in our compressions, and then just let everything go. We have about 2 minutes of Shavasana here, so really just go deep. And begin to softly return to the body, return to the breath. Begin by wiggling your fingers, your toes, the hands, the feet, the legs, the arms, the hips, the torso, the neck, the head. Just piece by piece come back to life and meet me at sitting at the front of your mat. We'll close on the hour here, so we'll take one Om. If you guys have any questions or anything, definitely stick around, and we are live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So we'll take one Om here if you'd like to join me. If not, you can just stay seated. Inhale. Om. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you guys next week.